AI to the Sky, the podcast for those who build the future, not those who fear it. AI, automation, disruption, no mercy. Hosted by Joseph Fail.
This episode is powered by Rocket AI.
Hello, Suvianna. Let's start with the question no one dares to ask at AI events. Are we automating harm at the scale and calling it innovation?
Yeah, in many cases, I think yes. The uncomfortable thing is that we have built systems that optimize for scale, profit, engagement, and then we act surprised when they replicate bias, polarize the societies, and also manipulate the behavior of people. So it's not that I think the engineers are evil, but it's that because we didn't define what good means before we scaled this technology. So yeah, in a sense, we automated the harm, but I think we still have a chance to automate accountability too if we act now.
Okay, I think we should do that. That's exactly what we're going to dissect today, because you are not just another person talking about AI ethics from theory. You founded AI for Change Foundation in Helsinki without funding, without a large team, and in less than 4 months, you turned it into a movement that's making tech elites uncomfortable. And the most interesting part is that you come from Finland, Europe, with a background in human rights, not from MIT, not from Stanford, not from Google, and you are questioning everything Silicon Valley takes for granted. So the real question is, why should Europe lead the conversation about AI's future and not the United States? So for those who don't know Suvianna Grecu, founder of AI for Change Foundation and European initiative redefining what responsible AI means, chairperson at AI and Big Data Expo Europe, and the voice warning that if we prioritize speed over safety, we are heading toward a massive truth crisis. But before founding this, you tried several business that didn't work, unfortunately. Decoration, blogging, ebooks, online fitness, nothing took off until February 2025. Along your husband, who's a developer, you built the foundation website over a weekend and immediately started reaching out to people. 4 months later, global movement. What changed, Suvianna? Why did AI for change work when everything else didn't?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. And like you mentioned, I don't have a, degree in computer science or years of working at Google. But of course, my background studying, human rights and law have shaped how I see the world. And I have seen like how these systems, whether it's political, social, or economic, how they distribute the power and also impact people's dignity. So when I was starting to work with AI, many of these things surprised me because we are actually creating the same old power imbalances that we, had in the internet era, just hidden behind the other algorithms and automation. And the question why AI for change succeeded, unlike my other projects, I think it comes to the thing that I didn't wait that until I was ready, until I had a degree, permission, funding, none of it. I just started. And the idea wasn't to create another think tank. It was more like a build momentum around the people who care. And I believe that authenticity made a big difference. And of course, putting myself out there, express my opinions, and really importantly, also push through those really uncomfortable moments when you feel like nothing's working. And I think that, people, feel that kind of energy when you are trying to build something real.
You are definitely right. Perfect. In these next 28 minutes, we are going to talk about things you won't hear on any AI podcast. Why the obsession with being intelligent is the problem, not the solution. What about automating warm at scale really means, and why it's already happening. Why technology is not neutral, and what you do about it. And the concrete framework you propose for companies to integrate ethics into development, not just marketing. For CTOs and founders listening, if you are implementing AI and think ethics is someone else's department responsibility, this episode is for you. So let's go straight in. You said, Suvianna, something in a recent interview that kind of stuck me. Technology is not neutral. AI will not be values driven unless we intentionally build them in. But the dominant narrative in tech is exactly the opposite. AI is a tool, it depends on how you see it. Please, can you dismantle that narrative? Why this is kind of dangerous for us?
Yeah, these tools, they actually reflect the values of the people who designed and deployed them. So if we think about the hammer can build a house or destroy a house. But when it comes to AI, it's not even neutral hammer. It basically learns from the data shaped by our bias, inequalities, and also our blind spots. So pretending that it's neutral, I think it's just convenience excuse to avoid responsibility.
Oh, wow. Okay. You are all right, especially if we are experiencing bias and hallucinations, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. But okay, it's not thing to criticize the industry in abstract. And another point is out who's automating harm specifically. Without strong governance, you said we are automating harm at scale. Do you have maybe concrete samples? What company, what product, what practices keep us up night?
Yeah, we're already seeing what happens when technology is evolving faster than our ethics. Because when you look at any social media right now, the algorithms are designed to maximize engagement and maximize outrage. And they know exactly which motions keep us scrolling. And they learn that anger and fear are the most profitable ones. So the thing is that the kids are now growing up addicted to their phones, and this is not accidental. If we think about these are multi-billion-dollar companies which have these platforms, they have the budget, they have the smartest AI engineers in the entire world. That is basically the design. And yeah, the thing is when I realized that we are not just building these kind of systems, we are shaping human behavior at scale, but no one's really asking like what kind of humans do we want to become?
Yeah. And well, I think I heard some news about Meta, about chatbots, AI chatbots that were talking with kids in a non-proper manner. So you are definitely right. We have to take care of this because it's really harmful. And here's maybe the uncomfortable question. This company have, as you said, more resources, more talent, more data, and that any organization in the history. Why do you think they are failing at this? Is it ignorance, maybe intentional, or that the business model fundamentally doesn't allow ethical AI?
Yeah, I think doing the right thing doesn't always make the most money. If your business is running on keeping people hooked and collecting their data, You cannot expect fairness and accountability to be your top priority. I don't think it's that they don't know better. It's just that ethics are slowing them down from the profit, and the companies don't like that trade-off.
Yeah, maybe it's about everything about money, right? And that connects directly with something that you said. Without deliberate intervention, AI will optimize for efficiency, scale, and not profit, right? Not for justice, dignity, or democracy. Well, Europe taking a radically different stance with the AI Act, GDPR regulations that Silicon Valley considers innovation breaks. You come from Finland, you studied human rights, you thought you worked for the UN, now you are in tech, but what is your perspective? What does Europe see that Silicon Valley can see or won't see?
Yeah, I think Europe understands that trust is innovation. And if your citizens, if your clients, don't trust AI, the entire industry will collapse. And Silicon Valley optimizes for speed, and I think Europe it optimizes for responsibility and protecting human rights.
Yes, you're right. But the criticism from Silicon Valley is while Europe regulates, we innovate, right? While you debate ethics, China advances. How do you respond to that argument? Is there an opportunity cost to your stance, maybe?
Yeah, I hear this every day, and it's also one of the topics of our upcoming summit this year. But if we think about it, regulation done right doesn't kill innovation. It kills irresponsibility. So let me ask you that if your business model collapses when people are protected, maybe that is not innovation at the beginning with.
And related to that, you are organizing this year AI for Change Summit in Helsinki, right? For I think for November.
Yeah.
Okay. Aiming that to make in the world largest responsible AI event, I think, bringing together legislators, startup researchers, CEOs, and everyone who's interested on that. If you had 90 seconds on that stage to convince a big tech CEO to change their approach, maybe what you would say to them?
Tough one. Maybe I would use the internet era, for example, that we built technology that changed the world. And now with AI, we can build the one that can save us, can make us, better. And the next generation, won't be won by who scales the fastest, but who earns the trust and making trust your competitive advantage. And the next cold rush is not data, it's trust, and whoever earns it will own the future.
No, that was great. Thank you for that. I think you can convince them.
Hopefully.
Suvianna, you started reaching out to people immediately after launching the site. Why did you contact first? How do you decide who would be in your initial network?
I don't remember who I exactly connected first, but I started with the genuine interest of people who care about impact. And I think what helped me a lot was that I wasn't trying to sell anything. It was more like an open conversation between different kind of people, companies, and backgrounds. So basically opening the conversation.
Okay, so it was truth that I think then opened the gate for that.
Yeah.
Without funding, how do you validate this was what the world needed and not another project that wouldn't take off like the previous ones?
Yeah, first it started out of frustration for sure. I was so frustrated about this AI hype versus AI fear. But now, since it's been some time, like how I validated this after is that I started to get messages from people who are taking time of their day and writing me that thanking that what I'm doing. So that is something that I think it's helpful in that sense.
Yes, because I think organizations already exist working on AI ethics, partnerships on AI Now Institute, even teams with big tech itself. Why AI for change? What specific gap do you feel that others just don't?
Yeah, there definitely are other organizations and they are doing, great work. And these are like, doing research and like this, but I think that we are movement doing implementation. So we basically translate these complex frameworks to practical actions for businesses, policymakers, and other professions. So I think that we are acting as a bridge between people, politics, and companies.
Oh, great. So this is the last question of this block. Building on these, uh, you build this in 4 months, practically alone. I said it. What did you sacrifice? Because the solo entrepreneur narrative is beautiful in retrospect, but brutal in the moment. What was the hardest part?
Yeah, people don't often see, people only see the end results, like, the global movement, partnerships, whatever. But the truth is that I sacrificed everything for it. My comfort, free time, sleep, even sometimes my peace, and working from morning till evening, often from airports, trains, just try to keep up with everything. It was hard because no funding, no guarantee, no plan B, just, believe that if I gave it absolutely everything, it might become something real. And also I said no for social life and, sometimes even paid work because, I keep building this AI for change and, there were many moments that I was thinking like what I'm doing. But then you get somebody's saying that it's really important what you do, so I think that what kept me also going.
Yeah, I think that's tough because maybe no one asks about that because it's difficult. It's not easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect, Suviana. Thank you for that. And we are going to change piece. Rapid fire, short answers, brutally honest. I will throw you maybe dilemmas, and you can give me your stance without filter. Okay?
Okay.
So, Subiana, you said you are concerned about long-term emotional manipulation, that as AI systems become more skilled at persuading and influencing human emotion, we are not prepared for the implications on personal autonomy. Are we already there, or maybe we have a little bit of time?
Yes, we are definitely there. Think about any kind of social media. You see, it's already not predicting behavior, but it's shaping it. And to the question if we still have time, I do believe that we have time, but we have to act now.
Okay. Yes, because we have a lot of AI slop all over the media, and
Yeah.
you're right. So, Subiana, prioritizing speed over safety risks and trust crisis, but companies that move fast win market share. Those that move slow will disappear. How do you resolve that tension without sounding naive?
Move fast, but don't be blind. The goal is not to slow down innovation, but just to be smart about what technologies do you use.
Suvianna, prediction for 2027. We will see the first case of a Fortune 500 company collapsing due to AI-related trust crisis. And who's the most likely candidate, do you think?
Yeah, I think there are companies that will lose a public trust because of misusing AI, and I think it's like one of those, major social platforms.
A Latin American founder tells you, Suviana, I'm building an AI startup. I don't have resources for an ethics team. What do I do? What's your maybe 30-second answer?
Yeah, it's a great question because many of the companies they don't have a budget to hire somebody, to take care of these things. But I would say that start with principles. Write down your non-negotiable values. How do you, use it in your products that treats people? And I don't think that you need, huge budgets to lead with these kind of values. And you can always name somebody in your team that will track these AI regulation and ethics trends in your industry.
Okay. Recommend one concrete tool or maybe framework any CTO can implement tomorrow to make their AI development more responsible. Maybe something specific, not hire an ethics officer.
My favorite responsible AI is common sense. So, what problem are we solving, and is AI the right decision for that, or is this the trendiest one? Because sometimes the smartest move is not to use AI or to automate.
Uncomfortable question. Is AI for Change Foundation part of the solution or sophisticated virtue signaling? How do you know you are not part of the problem disguised?
Yeah, I think it's a fair question, and I try to ask it myself often. The difference is that we don't stop at words. Every project, whether it's this, AI frameworks or summits, has to have a measurable action. So if something just feels like a performative talk, and we cannot make responsibility visible, we don't do it. And that this also comes across to my mind, this thought why we exist, what we are actually doing to keep me grounded. And because I think that every movement start with the good intentions, and good intentions can go wrong if you are not self-aware. So that's why I try to stay transparent, surround myself with people who challenge me, and also of course keep myself educated. And I rather be uncomfortable and grow rather than comfortable and blind.
Wow, I love that. Comfortable and blind. Last rapid fire. Silicon Valley in 5 years. It is still the center of gravity for AI, or has it lost it? And if it loses it, who takes the head?
I think Silicon Valley will still matter, but it won't be the only one or center of everything. The future of AI will be global, thinking about Europe, Africa, Latin America. They're already creating their own strong value-driven innovation scenes.
Okay. So, Suviana, can you give an advice for those persons who are starting with AI and ethics and who want to, maybe they just don't know where to start? What do you say to them?
Yeah, I think that is the first, step forward to understand, that we can all grow to educate ourselves better. Of course, there are many resources online, courses, and so on. That is a good place always to start. And also would be useful to ask like what you are aiming here, because there's so much knowledge in the world, what you are aiming to use for this. Of course, we all should have a certain understanding how AI works, how we can use it responsibly, and so on. but I think it's a, good starting point to understand your vision, your goals, and what you're aiming to use AI for, whether it's personal or for business use.
Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, and I took two courses on Helsinki online that they are free too, and they are wonderful. So they could start with Helsinki, maybe. So, Suvianna, you came from studying human rights, wanting to work for the UN. You tried multiple business that didn't work. Now you are leading a global movement questioning how the most powerful technology in history is being built.
If AI for change achieved its maximum goal, if in 10 years you look back, what does the world look like? What specifically changed thanks to what you are doing now?
I love this question because, we have a chance to shape the future right now.
Mhm.
So in 10 years, the world could look, completely different in a sense that AI could enhance us, the human productivity, protect our privacy and our data, democracy, rather than try to manipulate us. And basically, kids would have a safer environment. They would have an AI tutor that would help them to, modify their learning style and support their curiosity. And the teachers can use time for something that machines cannot do. For example, critical thinking, empathy, uh, things like this. And of course, where businesses would grow and use AI for good. And yeah, every organization would have their own ethics frameworks as a standard, as for example, cybersecurity. And I would like that the generations will look back and say that we built AI that work for people and not against them.
I love that. Thank you. So that's perfect. So we close with this, Suvianna. For CTOs and technical founders listening, Suvianna mentioned practical tools, designing checklists, pre-implementation risks, assessments. AI for Change Foundation has concrete resources where they can find them.
Yeah, basically we have few free tools in our official website, AI for Change Foundation, and we are launching also many more soon. So stay, tuned. And of course, I'm announcing these kind of things on LinkedIn, so you can follow me there as well.
Okay. And how they can participate? It is open to general audience or invitation only, maybe?
Yeah, unfortunately, only invitation only, but there might be a chance that we get the recording and we are able to show it to the global audience afterwards.
Okay. So, Suviana, does AI for Change have presence or plans for Latin America? Because conversations about ethics here are in very early stage.
Yeah, absolutely. We are already building relationships in Latin America, and right now, AI, ethical AI must be global, not just, in Europe.
Yeah.
So any of your listeners are passionate about building trust-based AI, in that region, we can reach out and collaborate.
Okay. So, listeners, Suvianna Grecu, founder of AI for Change Foundation, the European voice making Silicon Valley uncomfortable with these right questions. All links in the description, Suvianna's LinkedIn, AI for Change for Foundation, and Summit info.
And for you listening, if this episode made you question how your company is developing AI, mission accomplished. Share it with your CTO, please.
Okay, thank you so much, Suvianna, for this conversation. And well, the information was really insightful.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
AI is coming for actors, artists, and podcasters. Lucky for you, we're still human. Subscribe now. AI to the sky.